Hello and welcome to our podcast. This is IRENE Agacita, bsba students of AME Online Education. This podcast we are going to discuss about the film in Netflix, The Social Dilemma. What is the impact of using social media in our society? This documentary called The Social Dilemma has opened us about the conflict that might be taking on our mental health. It explained how addiction it is that changed our behavior, about who we are, how people use social media as a coping strategy against loneliness. However, this can actually lead to more negative emotion that worsen our mental well-being, while the social media may be a quick fix to get validation, their comments, or like, which is it really doesn't fulfill our deeper human needs. In addition, this film also addressed our young people, the impact of social media. It is highlight the rising rates of suicide and self-harm among teenage, particularly young girls. The Social Dilemma films features interviews from some social media experts and developers like Google, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and etc. They explain how they have created techniques like push notification to keep us glued to our device and to control our mind and behavior. The dilemma that comes from this is many people are becoming addicted to social media, which can be harmful for our sake. Example, you are not really into social media but you are keep on checking your email inbox. You're already addicted on it. Because of those some tactics, you stuck of that push notification. There are 5 things that you can learn from the film because we need to aware about how we use social media and how it operates. More equipped will be to take control of our own usage. By increasing our awareness and changing our habits, we will feel less controlled by social media. In turn, we will have more time to focus on our mental well-being. Number 1, become aware of your habits. Are you constantly comparing yourself to people you see in social media and feeling worse about yourself because of it? Try to think about what you do on social media and why you do it. These are things that we can become more mindful of. Once we identify the wrong and right habit, we can change it. Number 2, remember what matters most to you. Think what most value to you. This includes the relationship you have, your health, on reaching your goals. Focusing our attention on what we value will be more rewarding than the time we spend on our social media. Number 3, control what you consume. Creating positive content on our social media feeds is important. It's best to follow accounts and devote your attention to content that is positive and doesn't leave you feeling worst. Number 4, social media platforms are not a tools. We think of our social media platform as a tool for keeping in touch with our friends and family. But according to Tristan Harris, that's not true. He claims that a tool is something that sits there patiently waiting to be used. For example, the hammer in a toolbox where we haven't used it in a while, it doesn't knock on the lid of the toolbox every couple of hours, begging to be used, manipulating us into using it. It waits. As much as social media would like us to believe it's a tool, it's not. It nags us by sending off notifications and emails. It seduces us, manipulates us, Harris says. The social dilemma, it has its own goals and it has its own way of pursuing them by using your psychology against you. Lastly, number 5, a threat to democracy. Someone says he feels afraid of political misinformation and concerned about the breakdown of truth. Nothing that is getting progressively harder for people who disagree with each other to have productive discussion. If people can't agree on the truth, he says, that put society in jeopardy or danger and makes it difficult to address its problem. There is a quote in the film says, "If you're not for the products, then you are the product." The social dilemma tells us that many social media companies succeed by capturing our attention as much as they can. Then, they're selling that attention to the highest bidders. According to the Columbia Law School Professor Tim Wu, the attention merchants as business whose model selling access to people's minds, the industry needs people who are perfectly distractible and thus open to advertising along with other factors has led to an epidemic distraction sickness. This is when you are unable to concentrate and you constantly lose your attention and your time. This epidemic where you lose hours of the day clicking on random nothingness. Identify and analyze one key issue. I think the issue here is, can social media be fixed? In current state, social media has some major flavor. What can we do to fix it? What can we do to protect ourselves from its manipulation? First, do your part to protect yourself and your family by developing healthy social media habits, like limit your screen time or turn off notification. Need to know what task you need to complete on social media, and don't get sucked into infinite scrolls and ask yourself, when social media is making you feel depressed, then take a break. Secondly, social media regulation. Now, there are few regulations focused on data privacy. It's a start, but according to the cybersecurity expert, we need to go further. Another say that we should address also addiction to platform, manipulation of humans, impersonation, and identify hijacking. Truth in content as well as the ethical measures that need to be in place in order for platform to function with integrity. Thank you for listening to the Social Dilemma podcast with me again. This is IRENE Agacita, bsba students of AME Online Education. Thank you so much.